So let's just settle into a nice, comfortable seated posture. And just feel the sensation of your feet on the floor. And just really try and bring your attention down to your feet, whether they're under your legs because you're sitting cross-legged or whether they're, flat on the floor. Excuse me. And have them about a foot, hips width apart. And feel the sensation of your hands in your lap. And just allow yourself to release the weight of your pelvis and your sit bones into the chair. And align your shoulders with your hips and your ears with your shoulders. And imagine your spine is this beautiful string of pearls of light stretching from the base all the way up through the crown of the head and beyond. So just imagine you're lengthening your spine and putting some space in between your vertebrae. And then go to the crown of the head and relax your scalp and the forehead and the eyes, and the back of the eyes and the nose and the cheeks and the mouth, the back of the tongue, and the back of the head. And just allow the back of your neck to lengthen. And this might mean you just drop your chin. I thought it was another zoomer again. Okay. Relax your shoulders and your shoulder blades. Just allow them to drop down the back of your body. And relax the throat and the chest and the belly, and then now all of your limbs. Bring your attention to your breath as you inhale and exhale. Just notice the sensations. Maybe it's the tip of the nose or the base of the nose, chest cavity, belly. So there are three areas that you can ground yourself in when you're meditating. But traditionally, you'll be feeling the sensations around the nostrils initially for single-pointed concentration meditation. But you can also focus on the sensations of the breath around the chest cavity and the belly too. And be aware of any potential distractions, sound, people walking around, pets, vibration in your home, just from people walking around. Maybe you have neighbors who are noisy. It's traffic, aeroplanes. Just allow it all to be there, trying not to follow with the mind. There may be internal distractions as well, sensations, pain. Maybe if you have a cold or something, that can be a distraction. And then just check in with your mind this evening or today, this morning, for some of you. And just see what's going on in there. And just ask yourself, how are you doing tonight, today? And just be aware of the conversations you've been having with yourself today. Maybe you might be giving yourself a hard time about something. So maybe just think about that. Think about whether that's necessary. Just allow all the thoughts to arise and abide. And just try not to judge what's in your mind. Just allow it to be there. Just relax. And then think about all the people of our life, our loved ones, our strangers, and the ones we're not so fond of, the ones we don't like really. And just remembering they're all equal, they all want to be happy, they don't want to suffer. And they all have this extraordinary capacity for a Buddha mind. So we think we'll do this practice this evening for all these people of our life and for all sentient beings. And because Lorraine mentioned, I think it was Lorraine, mentioned her mum fell. So it's common. As we get older, this kind of thing starts to happen, and it's usually the beginning of the end. So it's very important to keep an eye on those people in our life who potentially have the capacity to fall. So for all the people who fell today, dedicate for them. So sincerely regret from the depths of your heart anything you have done to harm any living being on this day, in this life, and in all of our past lives. And think of specific actions of both your body and your speech, and then in general regret all. And the reason to regret is based on this logic of karma. We experience everything due to our past karma, our past actions, and so having harmed others, we ourselves will necessarily experience suffering in the future. We cannot bear the thought of any future suffering that we will experience, and we know from our present suffering we don't want any more. So logically it makes sense to remove the karmic seeds before they ripen as any future suffering for us. So we think, I regret from the depths of my heart having harmed others with my body and my speech, and having broken my vows because I do not want the future suffering. I'm sick of suffering. And also regret any anger, attachment, and the rest that are the cause of why we harm others, and then think again, I'm sick of this suffering. And then think, well, what can I do about it? Whom can I turn to? So here we come to this power of reliance. So we rely upon, we turn to the Buddha, who we see as a doctor, who has these methods that we can use to purify. And it's not that we need Buddhas to forgive us necessarily. We're purifying ourselves by relying upon his medicine. So you imagine Vajrasattva above the crown of your head. You can also imagine this is the mind of your teacher manifesting in this form for your benefit. And he's made of this beautiful, radiant, blissful white light, sitting cross-legged on a white lotus and a moon cushion. And he has a beautiful, radiant face, and his eyes are long and peaceful and full of love and compassion for you and all those people of your life. He has a sweet red mouth. His hair is black and held up in a top knot. His arms are crossed at his heart, the left underneath the right. The left is holding a bell representing wisdom, and the right is holding a vajra, which represents the indestructibility of compassion. And their being crossed represents the union of these two, and this symbolizes enlightenment, the development of infinite wisdom and infinite compassion. To the Buddha, the Dharma, and the Sangha, I go for refuge until I'm enlightened. By this practice of meditating on Guru Vajrasattva, may I reach Buddhahood so as to benefit all sentient beings. So in order to develop compassion, this is a little section on developing compassion, we need to rely upon others, other beings. Those beings we have harmed and those who have harmed us, by developing a wish for them to be free from suffering. So think particularly of people you've harmed recently and in the past, and then in general, all beings we have ever harmed since beginning this time. And then remember those who have harmed you and have compassion for them, because the harm they've caused you is going to result as suffering for them sometime in the future. So make a strong aspiration to do this practice of purification for the sake of all these beings, and think, I must purify for their sake. And then we come to this power of remedy, and this is the medicine, doing the practice of purification. And we start with the body. And Vajrasattva very compassionately sends powerful white nectar, like coming out of a hose, quite forcefully from his heart. And it arcs around and enters your crown and pours into your entire body, filling you completely. And it keeps pouring into you until it forces out of your lower orifices all the harm you've ever done to any living being with your body in the form of inky liquid. And this pours out of you and disappears into space, not one atom left as you recite the mantra. Vajrasattva Samayam Manupalaya Vajrasattva Dina Patita Jita Meboa Sitokaya Meboa Sipokaya Meboa Anarakta Meboa Sawasidi Mimpiyata Sawa Kamasita Me Sitam Shriyam Guru Hum Ha 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 Ho Bhagavan Sawa Tata Gata Vajrama Mimutsa Vajrabawa Mahasamaya Sattva A Hum Pe Vajrasattva Samayam Manupalaya Vajrasattva Dina Patita Jita Meboa Sitokaya Meboa Sipokaya Meboa Anarakta meboa sawasidi mimpiyatsa sawa kamasita me sitam shriyam guru hum ha 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 ho bhagavan sawa tata gata vajrama me mutta vajra bawa mahasamaya sattva a hum pe Vajrasattva samayam manupalaya Vajrasattva dina patita Jida meboa sitokaya meboa sipokaya meboa Anarakta meboa sawasidi mimpiyatsa sawa kamasita me sitam shriyam guru hum ha 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 ho bhagavan sawa tata gata vajramami mutta vajrabawa mahasamaya sattva a hum pe Vajrasattva samayam manupalaya Vajrasattva dina patita Jida meboa sitokaya meboa sipokaya meboa Anarakta meboa sawasidi mimpiyatsa sawa kamasita me sitam shriyam guru hum ha 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 ho bhagavan sawa tata gata vajramami mutta vajrabawa mahasamaya sattva a hum pe Vajrasattva samayam manupalaya Vajrasattva dina patita Jida meboa sitokaya meboa sipokaya meboa Anarakta meboa sawasidi mimpiyatsa sawa kamasita me sitam shriyam guru hum ha 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 ho bhagavan sawa tata gata vajramami mutta vajrabawa mahasamaya sattva a hum pe Vajrasattva samayam manupalaya Vajrasattva dina patita Jida meboa sitokaya meboa sipokaya meboa Anarakta meboa sawasidi mimpiyatsa sawa kamasita me sitam shriyam guru hum ha 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 ho bhagavan sawa tata gata vajramami mutta vajrabawa mahasamaya sattva a hum pe Vajrasattva samayam manupalaya Vajrasattva dina patita Jida meboa sitokaya meboa sipokaya meboa Anarakta meboa sawasidi mimpiyatsa sawa kamasita me sitam shriyam guru hum ha 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 ho bhagavan sawa tata gata vajramami mutta vajrabawa mahasamaya sattva a hum pe. So be delighted that all the harm you've ever done to any sentient being with your body is now completely purified, and think that there's no way you could do anything other than benefit others now with your body. Next is the purification of our speech. And Vajrasattva very happily sends powerful nectar from his heart chakra, and it arcs around and quite forcefully enters your crown and fills your entire body, except this time forcing up to the top of your body all the negativity of your speech, and this overflows and disappears into space, not one atom left. So imagine all the gossip and the harsh speech and the useless speech and lying and talking about people behind their backs and getting other people to agree with you. All of this is purified by this powerful nectar filling you as we recite the mantra again. Vajrasattva samayam manupalaya Vajrasattva dina patita Jida meboa sitokaya meboa sipokaya meboa Anarakta meboa sawasidi mimpiyatsa sawa kamasita me sitam shriyam guru hum ha 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 ho bhagavan sawa tata gata vajramami mutta vajrabawa mahasamaya sattva a hum pe Vajrasattva samayam manupalaya Vajrasattva dina patita Jida meboa sitokaya meboa sipokaya meboa Anarakta meboa sawasidi mimpiyatsa sawa kamasita me sitam shriyam guru hum ha 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 ho bhagavan sawa tata gata vajramami mutta vajrabawa mahasamaya sattva a hum pe Vajrasattva samayam manupalaya Vajrasattva dina patita Jida meboa sitokaya meboa sipokaya meboa Anarakta meboa sawasidi mimpiyatsa sawa kamasita me sitam shriyam guru hum ha 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 ho bhagavan sawa tata gata vajramami mutta vajrabawa mahasamaya sattva a hum pe Vajrasattva samayam manupalaya Vajrasattva dina patita Jida meboa sitokaya meboa sipokaya meboa Anarakta meboa sawasidi mimpiyatsa sawa kamasita me Sitam Shriyam Guru Hum Ha 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 Ho Bhagavan Sawa Tata Gata Vajramami Mutta Vajrabawa Mahasamaya Sattva A Hum Pe Hum Vajrasattva Samayam Manupalaya Vajrasattva Dina Patita Jida Meboa Situkaya Meboa Sipokaya Meboa Anurakta Meboa Sawasidi Mibiyata Sawa Kama Sita Me Sitam Shriyam Guru Hum Ha 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 Ho Bhagavan Sawa Tata Gata Vajramami Mutta Vajrabawa Mahasamaya Sattva A Hum Pe Vajrasattva Samayam Manupalaya Vajrasattva Dina Patita Jida Meboa Situkaya Meboa Sipokaya Meboa Anurakta Meboa Sawasidi Mibiyata Sawa Kama Sita Me Sitam Shriyam Guru Hum Ha 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 Ho Bhagavan Sawa Tata Gata Vajramami Mutta Vajrabawa Mahasamaya Sattva A Hum Pe Vajrasattva Samayam Manupalaya Vajrasattva Dina Patita Jida Meboa Situkaya Meboa Sipokaya Meboa Anurakta Meboa Sawasidi Mibiyata Sawa Kamasita Me Sitam Shriyam Guru Hum Ha 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 Ho Bhagavan Sawa Tata Gata Vajramami Mutta Vajrabawa Mahasamaya Sattva A Hum Pe. So again, feel so happy that your speech is now completely purified, and imagine it's not possible to do anything other than benefit others now with your speech. And next is the purification of our mind, and Vajrasattva very compassionately sends powerful beams of light from his heart chakra, and this arcs around and enters your crown and fills your entire being. So you imagine the light from Vajrasattva's heart hits your heart chakra, and instantaneously all the darkness of the negativity of your mind, just like flicking on a switch in a dark room, all the attachment, neediness and anger and violence and depression, resentment and jealousy, bitterness, all of this instantly dispelled, not one atom left as we recite the mantra again. Vajrasattva Samayam Manupalaya Vajrasattva Dina Patita Jida Meboa Situkaya Meboa Sipokaya Meboa Anurakta Meboa Sawasidi Mibiyata Sawa Kamasita Me Sitam Shriyam Guru Hum Ha 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 Ho Bhagavan Sawa Tata Gata Vajramami Mutta Vajrabawa Mahasamaya Sattva A Hum Pe Vajrasattva Samayam Manupalaya Vajrasattva Dina Patita Jida Meboa, Situkaya Meboa, Sipokaya Meboa, Anurakta Meboa, Sawasidi Mibiyata Sawa Kamasita Me, Sitam Shriyam Guru Hum Ha 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 Ho Bhagavan, Sawa Tata Gata Vajramami Mutta Vajrabawa Mahasamaya Sattva A Hum Pe, Vajrasattva Samayam Manupalaya, Vajrasattva Dina Patita, Jida Meboa, Situkaya Meboa, Sipokaya Meboa, Anurakta Meboa Sawasidi Mibiyata Sawa Kamasita Me Sitam Shriyam Guru Hum Ha 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 Ho Bhagavan Sawa Tata Gata Vajramami Mutta Vajrabawa Mahasamaya Sattva A Hum Pe Vajrasattva Samayam Manupalaya Vajrasattva Dina Patita Jida Meboa Situkaya Meboa Sipokaya Meboa Anurakta Meboa Sawasidi Mibiyata Sawa Kamasita Me Sitam Shriyam Guru Hum Ha 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 Ho Bhagavan Sawa Tata Gata Vajramami Mutta Vajrabawa Mahasamaya Sattva A Hum Pe Vajrasattva Samayam Manupalaya Vajrasattva Dina Patita Jida Meboa Situkaya Meboa Sipokaya Meboa Anurakta Meboa Sawasidi Mibiyata Sawa Kamasita Me Sitam Shriyam Guru Hum Ha 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 Ho Bhagavan Sawa Tata Gata Vajramami Mutta Vajrabawa Mahasamaya Sattva A Hum Pe Vajrasattva Samayam Manupalaya Vajrasattva Dina Patita Jida Meboa Situkaya Meboa Sipokaya Meboa Anurakta Meboa Sawasidi Mibiyata Sawa Kamasita Me Sitam Shriyam Guru Hum Ha 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 Ho Bhagavan Sawa Tata Gata Vajramami Mutta Vajrabawa Mahasamaya Sattva A Hum Pe Vajrasattva Samayam Manupalaya Vajrasattva Dina Patita Jida Meboa Situkaya Meboa Sipokaya Meboa Anurakta Meboa Sawasidi Mibiyata Sawa Kamasita Me Sitam Shriyam Guru Hum Ha 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 Ho Bhagavan Sawa Tata Gata Vajramami Mutta Vajrabawa Mahasamaya Sattva A Hum Pe. So again, be delighted that all your delusions, which are the source of all of our own suffering and the cause of why we harm others with our body and our speech, are completely purified. And think that there's no space in your heart now for anything other than love and kindness and forgiveness and wisdom and bliss and compassion. And next is the purification of even the imprints of negativity of the body, speech, and mind. And this time, imagine that Vajrasattva sends light and nectar, and it fills you completely. And the nectar flows down, pushing out all the negativity of the body. The nectar flows up, pushing out all the negativity of the speech, and then the light comes and just completely eradicates even, even the subtlest imprints of negative energy from your consciousness. Om Vajrasattva Samayam Manupalaya Vajrasattva Dina Patita Jita Meboa Situkaya Meboa Sipokaya Meboa Anarakta Meboa Sawasidi Mimpiyata Sawa Kama Sutame Sitam Shriyam Guru Hum Ha Ha Ho Bhagawan Sawa Tata Gata Vajramame Musa Vajrabawa Mahasamaya Sattva A Hum Pe Om Vajrasattva Samayam Manupalaya Vajrasattva Dina Patita Jita Meboa Situkaya Meboa Sipokaya Meboa Anarakta meboa sawasidi mimpiyata sawa kama sitame sitam shriyam kuru hum ha 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 ho bhagawan sawa tata gata vajramami mutta vajrabawa mahasamaya sattva a hum pe Vajrasattva samayam manupalaya Vajrasattva dina patita jita meboa sitokaya meboa sipokaya meboa Anarakta meboa sawasidi mimpiyata sawa kama sitame Sitam Shriyam Guru Hum Ha 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 Ho Bhagawan Sawatata Gata Vajramami Mutta Vajrabawa Mahasamaya Sattva A Hum Pe Vajrasattva Samayam Manupalaya Vajrasattva Dina Patita Jita Meboa Situkaya Meboa Sipokaya Meboa Anarakta Meboa Sawasidi Mimpiyata Sawa Kama Sitame Sitam Shriyam Guru Hum Ha 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 Ho Bhagawan Sawatata Gata Vajramami Mutta Vajrabawa Mahasamaya Sattva A Hum Pe Vajrasattva Samayam Manupalaya Vajrasattva Dina Patita Jita Meboa Situkaya Meboa Sipokaya Meboa Anarakta Meboa Sawasidi Mimpiyata Sawa Kama Sitame Sitam Shriyam Guru Hum Ha 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 Ho Bhagawan Sawatata Gata Vajramami Mutta Vajrabawa Mahasamaya Sattva A Hum Pe Vajrasattva Samayam Manupalaya Vajrasattva Dina Patita Jita Meboa Situkaya Meboa Sipokaya Meboa Anarakta Meboa Sawasidi Mimpiyata Sawa Kama Sitame Sitam Shriyam Guru Hum Ha 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 Ho Bhagawan Sawatata Gata Vajramami Mutta Vajrabawa Mahasamaya Sattva A Hum Pe Vajrasattva Samayam Manupalaya Vajrasattva Dina Patita Jita Meboa Situkaya Meboa Sipokaya Meboa Anarakta Meboa Sawasidi Mimpiyata Sawa Kama Sitame Sitam Shriyam Guru Hum Ha 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 Ho Bhagawan Sawatata Gata Vajramami Mutta Vajrabawa Mahasamaya Sattva A Hum Pe. So now feel completely purified. There's not one atom of negativity left in your mind stream. Even the subtlest obscurations to your enlightenment have been removed. And now we come to this power of resolve, and this is the fourth and the final step in the purification process. And it's a really crucial one. This is this determination to refrain from harming with our body and our speech and our mind. So we have to decide. And without making a decision of this kind, we're just going to keep doing the same old things over and over again. So decide and then make a plan. So the plan might be, okay, so for 5 minutes between time now and the time I go to bed, I'm going to think about X, Y, and Z particular negative habit that I have and think about maybe not doing that anymore or not doing it for 5 minutes. So imagine now Vajrasattva is delighted with us and wants to merge with your mind, and melts into white light and absorbs into you through your crown, and you think, my teacher's body, speech, and mind, Vajrasattva's body, speech, and mind, and my own body, speech, and mind are the same. So next, Rinpoche would recommend to meditate on emptiness. So you think, in emptiness, there is no I, the creator of negative karma. There is no action of creating negative karma. And there is no negative karma created. So at whatever level you understand emptiness, place your mind there for a little while. We can think of all phenomena as being empty. They do not exist from their own side. You can also think that the way things appear to me may not necessarily be the way they actually exist. So let's just dedicate all the merit, all the positive energy you've created doing this practice to all living beings, and think, may all the virtuous karma I've created from doing this practice ripen as my enlightenment for the sake of sentient beings as quickly as possible. Okay, we're doing chanting the names of Manjushri to bring back our precious Lama Zopa Rinpoche. The family of, and yet beyond the world, the family great in brightening the world, the foremost family of Mahamudra, and so the family great with Usnisas. 4. The stages of awakening according to illusion's net. Then, about the Lord of Speech, he spoke. These verses, which include 6 kingly mantras, which manifest from non-duality, which bear the quality of non-arising. A, E, I, U, E, A. Ao, Ao, O, Al, A, Shito, Shri, Shri, Shridi. Jana Mutir Aham Buddho, Buddhanam Traya Dva Vartinam. Okay. All right, everybody. So let's just have a strong wish for His Holiness the Dalai Lama to live long, for the swift return of our precious Lama Zopa Rinpoche, and for all of your own individual teachers. Did I see, is it someone's birthday?